All right guys, so we're here at a scenario where we're predominantly under shade. Even our background is in the shade. Sometimes you're in a place where you're in the shade but the background has overexposure. We found a place just full of shadow. So this is probably the nicest area that we found. Also, that complemented her colors and what she was wearing. Kind of still meshed with the same kind of style that she had on. So we're gonna do some pictures with no flash. We're gonna start off with no flash, and we're gonna add a flash so you can see the difference between adding a speed light and not having one. So we're gonna start and we're gonna take a picture without a flash. The setting that we usually use when we have no flash and we're outdoors, we start at 1/160 and our ISO at 100. We take our first shot just to see where our exposure is. So we're gonna take the shot. Let's see how it looks. So if you look all the way to the background, you'll be able to see the outside, which is properly exposed, not super blown out, but we're still underexposed, right? So what we wanna do is we wanna add more light. So we're gonna go ahead and turn on our speed light now. Now we have our speed light on and we're gonna start it at 1/16 power. I'm gonna take our first shot. Now you can see how the flash directly lit her up. And you can see the lighting on her face and the shadow it's casting underneath her chin. Now there's ways around that. Obviously the positioning of her face or moving her around or moving the flash around. We're gonna keep using that light and we're gonna try to include a reflector to pretty much diffuse the underneath shadow on her chin. So we're gonna have Mariah hold the reflector up right by her face to reflect the directional light and hit her from the other side, kind of like creating another light source. And you can see that was a dramatic increase on light on the left side of her face, which pretty much softened up that shadow that was under her chin. It's not completely gone, but it's still there. So what do we do when we have really harsh shadows because we're using direct flash? What I like to use is I like to use some kind of diffuser. Here we have a diffuser. Now this is a disc that we're gonna basically put over the flash. One side is black, one side is white. The black side is obviously to block out the flash from one side and direct all the flash to the other side. So you're gonna go ahead and put this on. Now you have a diffuser on your flash. What you want to make sure that the white side is facing the model, right? And you also want to make sure to put a sandbag. So now the wind might hit this and it might tip it over, and you don't want that to happen. So we're going to go ahead and add a sandbag to it to give it a little tug, make sure it's nice and sturdy. And here we go. Now by adding a diffuser, usually it cuts down the light power. So we might have to bring it up, but we're gonna take a shot without bringing it up the first time just to see what we get. The diffuser actually knocked out too much of that power source. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn that flash power up. We're gonna bring it up about 1/8 now. Since we are in the shade, we're also gonna bring our aperture down to 2.8. Now, if you take a look at this picture, you're gonna see a dramatic change in that shadow under her chin. It's a lot softer. The light source from her left on the reflector is bouncing really nice into her cheekbones, creating that really nice and distinctive jawline. So this is pretty much the setup that I'm gonna continue to use to do some of her pictures. Now we're gonna work on the modeling part, which is trying to get her to look her best and have a good time. All right. Give me a slight smile. Do me a favor, lean forward just a little bit more. Kind of like you're falling down a little bit. There you go. All right, so I'm pretty happy with this. What do you think?
I didn't even, you know what's weird? I felt like I was like here.
It feels weird, but it looks good.
Beautiful, it looks
What do you
great.
think? Like it?
I like it a lot.
So we started from this one, and then we ended up with this. That's pretty much just using one light source with a diffuser and one reflector.